Hi, it's Martin Graf from Financial Edge Group. We specialise in helping people set themselves up for retirement. And today I'm going to touch on a strategy that we use for clients as they're approaching retirement. It's called a contribution, specifically a non-concessional contribution. And that's something that you consider doing now before it gets to the 30th of June in this tax year. So what is a non-concessional contribution? Basically, it's pretty simple. It's moving money out of your personal name into your super fund. It could be money that you've got saved against your mortgage, money you've got in a bank account that's not earning you much. It could be money that you've inherited, a bonus from work, something like that. And the amount that you move into super, not worry about saving on tax right away. There's other strategies we can do to save on tax. Make sure you address some of those. But this is a lump sum of money that you just want to help build your super retirement nest egg. Why would you do such a thing? A, it boosts your super, but more importantly, it helps with some strategies to help you get more out of super in the end and save tax along the way. What I mean by that is, if it's just sitting in a bank account, potentially you're earning interest or something on at the moment, you end up paying tax on that in your personal name. If you move that to your super fund, you don't have to pay that in your personal name anymore. It gets taxed at a super fund tax rate. Typically, super fund tax rate is going to be lower than your personal tax rate. You might be earning and paying 39% tax on your wages. In super, you're only going to be paying tax on that at 15%. So pretty substantial tax saving on the earnings of that investment. And that's each and every year until retirement. Importantly then, once you're retired, typically that tax rate in super drops lower. It drops down to 0%. So what that means is you're moving this money out of an environment that's being taxed at maybe a third or 40% of it's being taxed into an environment that's only being taxed at 15%. And probably soon, if you're approaching retirement, at a tax rate that's going to be 0. So helps you boost your super, pays less tax along the way, plus it also sets you up so that in retirement, you're not paying, hopefully, any tax at all. It's a straight strategy to help achieve all those things. So who should be doing this? Basically, anyone who has some extra money outside of super that they're not looking to use, and really in their mind, they're thinking it's for retirement. Don't pay tax on it, put it inside of your super fund. There is a limit. You can only do $100,000 a year. Now that's a lot of money, but importantly, it's a use it or lose it limit. So what it means is, if you go, I'll wait to do it later, you might get to retirement and you might have downsized your house, received inheritance, something like that, and you've got a lump sum of money that you really want to use for retirement, and all of a sudden, 100 grand is now not a lot of money. You might have $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 that you want to put into super, and you're hit with that limit. There are some ways to get around it. We'll talk about that separately. But generally, what I recommend is to do a bit each year so that you're using those limits or some of those limits each year so you don't get to the point where you've got no limits left. So it's important. It's a use it or lose it kind of strategy. So it's not for everyone. If retirement's far into the distant future, then perhaps not. Perhaps there's some other strategies you need to do first about saving on tax, etc. But if you've got some money you're not really using, you want to put it towards retirement, this is a great way to do so. And as we're approaching 30th of June, now's the time to consider to do that. Because remember, this limit is a use it or lose it. It's called a non-concessional contribution. If you want to find out more, get in touch with us. We can talk you through some of the specifics about how to do it, importantly understand where it's going to be invested and when you can get access to it, all that kind of stuff. But certainly something to consider as we're approaching 30th of June.